This is Robert Velasquez, the eviction guy. What I'd like to talk about today is something really important that a lot of landlords, investors, property managers, sometimes they don't think about. It's a specific form. Let's say you're evicting your tenants, Joe Smith and Mario Soto. But there are additional people, adults in the property that you don't know who they are. And a lot of times our clients file the eviction and the tenants file an answer and they go to trial. But before going to trial, there is what is called a prejudgment claim with right to possession. It's a form that anyone that lives in the property, even though they're not named on the eviction or they don't even have a rental agreement, they have the right to legally file this form to add themselves to the case. And that could happen even after you have the court order, which is really important. Let's say you go to court, you go to trial, you file an eviction, you send your writ of possession to the sheriff's department, and you did not include this form to be served by a registered process server. So what happens, the date of the lockout, when you're thinking you're going to take possession of your property, the unknown occupant can file this form. He can even hand it over to the sheriff's department, but normally they can file it at the sheriff's department. And this form will stop the lockout for a couple of weeks. What the court has to do now is set a hearing within 5 days to determine if that so-called unknown occupant has the right to possession. And then you have to go back to an eviction trial if the court determines that that person that was not named now is adding themselves to the case. So the way to go around this is what we do. If you hire our services or the company you hire, make sure that they include all unknown occupants and file this prejudgment claim notice with the original summons and complaint. The summons and complaint has to be served to not only the known occupants, but the unknown occupants. And it must be done by a registered process server because there's a process in where you serve the so-called unknown occupants. Make sure this is done in your eviction so you save yourself a lot of headaches and wasting time. Thank you for watching.